Hello friends, welcome back to Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So we just got done doing evening chores. It is another hot, miserable week here in Arkansas. We're in the middle of a heat wave. It's yucky outside right about now. Although the sun is down behind the trees, and so it's kind of cooling down a little bit. You can hear the locusts making their music. So I had a couple comments in my last video I wanted to address. So first of all, tons of questions about those skirts that I was wearing one of them in the video. It's an A-line linen skirt. I ordered it from a shop on Etsy, but I did put a link for it in the video description. And then later I did add it to a comment, and I pinned that comment. So if you scroll down to the comments underneath that video, it's the one where I was doing chores with Ruby. It'll be the very first comment that you see there. Linen is a great natural fabric, and I love wearing it. I mean, I wear it quite a bit, and it's so funny because years ago I had this blouse. And I don't know whatever happened to this blouse, but it was one of my favorite blouses. Might have got lost in a move. You know, when you move 20 times, literally this is my 20th house, sometimes boxes get lost by the movers or damaged, and things happen. Matter of fact, that's how one of my treasured Brenda Breyer horses from my childhood went missing. But I absolutely loved that blouse. It was a linen blouse, and it was actually embroidered. It had like these beautiful like turquoise flowers on it. Gorgeous blouse. And then I had a few other linen pieces over the years, and I always loved them. I loved them. But for some reason, I just never bought any other linen clothing. And then about 2 years ago, I think it was, I don't know, something just kind of triggered that memory, and it was like, I loved those pieces of clothing. Why don't I wear linen more? Linen, like, it breathes, you know, which is always good when you live in the South. But linen is not the perfect fabric. It does have some pros and cons. Of course, pros being natural fabric, very breathable. It dries very quickly. It lasts a long time if you take good care of it. So it's just, and it's comfortable. And the longer you wear something, the more you wear it, the softer it gets. A lot like cotton. So it's got a lot of perks. However, there are some cons. Depending upon how heavy the fabric, because linen does come in different weights, of course, like most things do. It can be very sheer, so you may have to wear a slip underneath some of your garments, or like a camisole or something underneath them, depending upon what variety of linen you get. And then the other thing is, if you like to hang your clothes up to dry on a clothesline like I do, which I've got to figure out where I can put a clothesline here on the property. This whole property is pretty much wooded, and there's not very many places I can put a clothesline without trees above it, and you don't really want trees above your clothesline, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've got to figure something out, because I desperately miss having a clothesline. But I digress. So if you like hanging your clothes out to dry, linen fades very easily. It does not hold color very well. So if you hang your clothes out to dry and you have colorful linen, you may not want to hang it out in the sun. I do have a clothes rack, a folding clothes rack that I keep in my house, and now anytime I launder my linen, I hang it on that indoor drying rack. And it's usually dry within just a couple of hours, because linen dries very, very quickly. I actually have this one dress that I love. It's kind of like a sleeveless summer dress. It's kind of on the shorter side, above the knee. Super comfortable. I wear it a lot because it is so cool to wear. However, it is fading. The color is fading so quickly on it. I think I'm gonna get a thing of the RIT dye so that I can put the color back into it. It's sort of an olivey green color. And I have a skirt that faded quite a bit, but I will tell you, I hung both of those out on the clothesline in Alabama and totally forgot, because, you know, it had been so long since I'd had linen, that it's not a good idea to dry them in the sun, because they do lose their color very quickly. So that is one of the downsides to linen. Of course, if you have a lot of white linen or really light colors, it probably won't make much difference. But if you get dark colored linen, it does fade the color anyways. But the fabric holds up, like I said, as long as you take care of it. I do wash all of my linen on delicate. A lot of times they say to hand wash linen. I never hand wash the linen. I just wash it on delicate and I line dry it. I don't ever put my linen in the dryer. I also had a comment about how I looked really, really hot in that video. And someone said, "Are you sure this is where you want to live forever?" Let me tell you, yes, it's hot here. It's Arkansas. We are adjacent Oklahoma and Texas. It's hot. However, it was just as hot in Alabama. And we lived in Alabama for a decade. Thought we were going to live there forever, planned to live there forever. And, you know, you kind of get used to the heat. I mean, super humid, nasty days are never comfortable for anybody, but it's just part of the lifestyle, you know? You know, in the same aspect, it's if you live up north where you get brutally cold winters, people may ask, "Are you sure you want to live there?" Because it gets really, really cold. Every place has something to do with. There are very few places in the world that have perfect weather all the time. You just learn to adapt. Hi, Nebsy. Both the kitties are coming out to hang out with me. Hi, Stumpy. Hi, Stumpy. I got Stumper on one side and Nubs on the other. I don't think you can see him down here. Right down there. So the other thing that I wanted to share, and it was so funny because I actually saw a comment about it. Someone asked me, are the guineas going to be able to roam the property? Are they going to be out? Well, it just so happens that the other day we let them out for the very first time. Now, it actually took them a little bit to come out of their enclosure, but when they did, they started roaming around. Now, right now, they're still kind of hanging out close to the house. They're sticking up near the sheds. They actually go up under one of the lean-to sheds during the midday when it's crazy hot, which is fine. That's actually where we have the young chickens in that enclosure where the puppies used to be. And so they all just kind of hang out in there and just, you know, get out of the sun and cool down. And then as soon as the sun gets behind those trees and starts cooling down a little bit, they are out and about. And I have no problem with them sticking around the house right now because, of course, the whole reason we got these guineas was for tick control. So if they want to stay around the house and get all the ticks, that is fine with me. Now, when we were going to let them out, Mr. Smith commented, he's like, "I give them 2 days before they're gone." Well, it's been about 3 days now, and so far they have not gone anywhere. And then my son made a comment too. He's like, "You're going to let those things out and they're just going to be gone. They're going to take off into the woods and you'll never see them again." And I told him, I'm like, you know what? That's the thing though. That is the risk you run with guineas because they're kind of a wildish bird. If you have guineas and you don't let them run loose, then they're not going to do much good unless you're raising them for eggs and meat. One of our good friends is from Guam, and when he found out we had guineas, he was like, oh, those are delicious. But I will tell you, I love watching them roam around in their little flock, moving kind of as a group everywhere they go. And I love listening to them. And I know they can get loud, and I'm sure they'll get louder. But so far, I find them very entertaining, and they don't bother us one bit. I mean, another reason people keep guineas is as an alarm system. They make it known when something or someone is here who shouldn't be. Also, I have one more thing I want to share with you guys, and I'm very, very excited about this. This week, we became Oma and Pap again. Our older son Joshua and his wife Anna had their baby, and she is precious. I will be going there for a visit very soon. So I'm going to try and get some videos filmed and everything so that I can have some things scheduled. Now, I will not be sharing photos of this sweet baby girl just because her parents simply asked that people keep her off the internet. They are very protective, and I completely understand and respect their decision. But we are incredibly excited to have another addition to the family, and I cannot wait to meet her in person. So thanks for joining us here in the homestead. My name is Constance at Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I'll talk to y'all next time.